Yeah, we'll see from here. But it's fine. We can always cut it out and edit, because I'm not sure we have to edit this thing anyway.
What's the show called, Sipho, bro?
Oh, I'm actually just, what shit do you mean? What's the show called, dude? That one was funny. The first time I heard that one, I was like, there's no ways, dude.
That one killed me.
I was like, what did you call it? No way, that shit was hilarious as fuck. Jokes and strokes. Nah, shout out to Jokes and Strokes, though.
And they showed that DKNY actually.
Yeah.
No, they did, yeah. I saw that.
Oh, yeah, you were there.
I was there, yo. That was during,
COVID.
yeah, this guy, I love it.
I don't know, nothing was impossible.
It was impossible, yeah, I know this guy.
Adidas
This
times.
guy. No, this is your thing, dude. What's your show called, guy?
Are we rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling. Think about it now, because it's fine. I'll do it.
No, nah, dude, you know me. I'm gonna call it the Kosher Show easily.
The Kosher Show.
Easily. Yeah, because the YouTube channel's called that anyway. And that's someone to release.
Oh, you already started the YouTube channel?
Might as well. It's like 2 years old.
Oh, okay. So it's dormant.
No, I think I have 6 subscribers.
Almost. Okay, we up.
And 1 comment. It's from Resejo. Shout out, Racy.
Shout out to my one person. That one person has always got your back. Nah,
You always need someone to believe. And then,
no, we respect it. Oh, otherwise, yo. I haven't seen you in so long, dude.
Stressless, bro. It's been a minute, eh?
Yeah, it's been a hot minute, but yeah.
It's been a minute, bro.
Life's throwing these hands, dog.
My boy. It's gonna bring me right into my first point.
Yeah.
Making good decisions is boring.
You said that earlier on, and I feel like, okay, what was the reason you said earlier on?
It's easier to make like more challenging decisions, you know, like more challenging strides for like your own like, life and self.
So you're saying it's easier to make more challenging decisions? Or you're saying it's easier to put yourself in more challenging situations?
No, I'm saying making good decisions
Yeah.
is like more difficult. And then compounding those decisions is also difficult.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm not gonna argue that point though.
It's easy, like now today's Friday. This guy's shy.
Oh yeah,
You know? Yeah, it's like 4:30.
yeah.
Bro, usually on a day like this, you're making plans now.
No, but I feel like usually on a Friday. No, but also I feel like we're also getting to that point now in our lives where things can actually shake regardless. So whether you choose or not to make good decisions on a specific day or time or whatever the case may be, that's up to you. Yeah. But I don't think making good decisions is difficult. I genuinely don't think it's hard to say no.
I beg to differ, bro.
I don't think it's hard to say no. What I do think is hard though, like very, very difficult for a lot of people, is to stick to your no after being convinced.
No, that's the compounding
Yeah.
I was chatting about, yeah.
Okay, fair.
Compounding those good decisions, also boring, bro. It's like that time when I quit drinking. Oh, my days.
Yeah, you could drink for like what, a month?
No, 2 months.
2 months. Yeah, that shit was terrible.
Boring.
Yeah, I couldn't. Personally, I'll never quit drinking. I don't know if I should say this, but yeah, I'll take my sabbatical. Like I'll take my sabbatical. I'll prioritize other things.
Yeah.
Make sure that other things in my life are going grand. If I can see life is shaking, I'll take a back step. I won't drink for like a while, a month or two. But like to actually say I quit, like I'm done. Dude, life is too stressful to not drink.
There's certain things in this life that are extreme. I think that's one of those things.
Yeah. Like, you know how stressful like Monday to Friday is?
No, no, like 100%. No, I agree with you there.
The amount of things you have to go through.
I agree with you there. I agree with
To
you.
just decide to yourself, no, I'm not gonna drink this weekend. No ways. Shout out to people who don't. Shout out to people though that respect it. Some people are just like
Road dogging life.
yeah, no, I realize don't ever get treated by those niggas, dude.
Yeah.
Those people have other vices. I've realized this, dude. People who don't drink have really, really, really rigid vices.
Yeah.
You find out like a person who doesn't drink, like a guy will tell you, I don't drink, but that guy runs through women like it's nothing, dude. That's his other vice.
Yeah, no, okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So never trust somebody who just says like,
chill
I don't
with people
drink.
like that.
Yeah, you chill with people like that. They're like, nah, I don't drink. I've never touched alcohol in my life. You're like, oh, and then you like respect. You sort of have this like thing of
Admiration.
like, wow, that's very respectable. But then you actually like pull that little facade, that little fugazi facade, like see behind that. You'll see they're into some weird stuff, dude. Behind the vaccines, I'm telling you.
No, agreed.
So yeah. Now, but genuinely, I think good decisions, they're really not that hard. I make good decisions on a daily basis. It's whether compounding is very hard. When you say compounding good decisions, yeah, that one's difficult because you sort of feel like you can reward yourself with a bad decision when you make a good decision.
Yeah, the hard wiring is off, bro. The hard wiring is off. Like, that shouldn't be the whole train, like, of thought. Also, like, the gratification thing that, like, we do, it's also off.
So, what do you mean by the gratification thing?
There always needs to be, like, a reward.
Yes.
I don't think that's the case, bro. Like, if you do good work, there doesn't always need to be a reward.
Okay. Now I get it. So you should just do things just because they need to be done.
And just because, like, they are good things. There's, like, a Muslim proverb that says, do good and then throw it in the sea. Which means, like, do something good and then, like, just forget about it.
No, I guess that's it. That really is
That expectancy of, like, a reward or, like, some sort of benefit, that's... The hard wiring is off.
True, but also what is good? Like, I feel like what is doing good? Like, in your just a brief summary, what do you think is doing good?
Beneficial to, like, other people, like, or yourself. That's just, like, doing good.
Okay, yeah.
Objectively.
But I just think that it goes against human nature.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that the hard wiring is off, yeah.
I just feel like we've always been accustomed to getting something for what we do. Because even if you think about it, like, as selfless as you can possibly be, there's a reason why you do certain things. So I could say, you look at people who are like philanthropists, right? They go out there and they give their entire lives to making the world better, which is very commendable because many people don't do that. Some of us are degenerates. We decided to just focus on ourselves and move on. Fair enough. That's your thing. We respect it.
Yeah.
But then you get other people who genuinely go out there and make the world better. But then you ask yourself, why? Why are you making the world better? Yes, 50% might be for the fact that you genuinely want to make the world better, or 60% or 7%. But there's that little percentage in you that does it for your own self-gratification. Yeah. For that reward you get when you see someone else smile.
Right.
Even though it's commendable, because that's what gets, like, if you say, like, the reason why I do the things I do is to make other people smile.
Yeah.
Because you get that great feeling about it. You have that reward. You are rewarded for it.
It's dopamine for yourself.
Yeah, it's dopamine for yourself. So just by basic human nature, whatever we do, we have a reward. They say it's its own, like, happiness is its own self-reward or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Even when you exercise, you're not exercising for the sake of exercising. You're exercising to get buff, muscle tease.
Yeah. No, 100%.
You're really out here.
Very few people are training for health reasons.
Yeah. Like, no.
I'm just gonna quickly, right? Because you said philanthropy, you just led me in a different direction. I got a charity coming up. I registered a charity, folks. I'll fill you in on the details. Don't worry about it. So you guys will see, but just to let you know it's coming.
Yeah, so you're coming soon. I know, shout out.
Had to be done. Had to shout out my charity over there.
Okay. Can you say what it's gonna be or not?
Oh yeah, no, I can. It's venture philanthropy. So in essence, what that is you take, the practices from venture capital, and what you do with that is start a business, and then whatever product or service you provide, revenue portion of it goes towards the charity. So it takes out that element of a charity having to ask for donations all the time. Instead, you get to invest in a product or consumer product or a service, and then in that way the revenue powers the cause itself.
So basically you can incorporate into your CSR.
Yeah, it's like a more sustainable form of charity.
Aye, there's that word again, sustainable. Aye.
It sustains itself. Instead
Okay.
of like donation. Yeah.
No, true. That's actually very smart. Very
Much
smart.
better way to do things.
No, definitely, dude. Definitely. I hear you. No, well, yo, good luck, dude. Hopefully that shit pops off.
Thanks.
I appreciate it.
Thanks.
No, good luck. It's like we need more of that, dude. I feel like there's not enough people in this country actually looking out for each other.
Yeah.
That thing is actually very depressing, but it's okay. You know, if we're not gonna build it ourselves, who else is gonna build it for us?
Yeah.
It's a big thing, dude. It's a really, really big thing.
Yeah. Oh, on that, bro. If you make like a decision to like do something good, like change the world, do something miraculous, the amount of belief you have to have in that decision, like in yourself, is like quite remarkable. You know what I mean? You cannot waver.
You can't half-hearted.
Yeah, you can't half-heartedly go into like changing the world. And also, pessimistic beliefs are self-fulfilling. I'm gonna say that, bro. Because if you like believe off the bat that you are like down, you are out.
Yeah.
You can't come to bat and think, ooh, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna be great at this. You have to immediately come like onto bat thinking, I'm gonna win at this.
True. No, definitely. That's. But I also think self-doubt is actually, as you said, like pessimistic beliefs of self-fulfilling. But I also think people actually get a kick of being right when they're wrong. I don't know if I'm wording it right. So if you tell yourself I'm gonna fail, and then you try something, and then you actually fail, like there's that thing of, yeah, but I really knew I was gonna fail. For some reason, for some people, like I felt it as well. Like sometimes I'll tell myself like, this is not gonna work out, so let me pull out. Or this is not gonna work out, so let me not do it. And then I'll try, or someone else will try it, it doesn't work out. And for some reason, like in the back of my head, I'm just thinking to myself, yeah, like
I told you.
I was right, yeah. Which is wrong, which is very, very wrong. It's something that you really have to get out your head to tell yourself, like, that I told you so mentality is the worst. But I feel like being able to tell someone I told you so is much worse. Like that feeling does not equal like that feeling of thinking something's not going to work out and it actually works out. Like that Hail Mary, like you literally had this, like the last, bottom of the ninth, knees weak, arms are sweaty moment, boy. Like, that Eminem 8 Mile moment, and then it actually works out. There's nothing that feels better than that. Because then all everyone needs is just that one win.
But I feel like that position is like more difficult because you start from so much like further off in the grid.
Yeah.
Like let's say if you come to bat believing in yourself, you're in like pole position when the race starts. But if you like start at the back of the pack, like that's basically like the same thing.
Okay.
Like this is like an analogy of what you say.
Of course, yeah.
It's just harder work. So the belief always has to be there. Like the courage has to be there. All those qualities have to be there.
Yeah, this is all, in theory, it's all good and well. People, self-help, greatness, people, TED Talks. Yeah, believe in yourself, be great, do this, do that. But when it comes to the crux of the matter, dude, being able to tell yourself you can do something, right, and actually believing it are two different things. I can tell myself, like, dude, I can do this. I can tell myself I can run a marathon.
Yeah.
And I'm going to run a marathon. Dude, let the marathon day come.
Yeah.
And like continue to tell yourself when you hit that brick wall after like 10 kilometers and it's deep, dude. Are you able to still tell yourself like you can do it?
Yeah, you should.
That's what I'm saying, you should. But being able to tell yourself before, like having a conversation and be like, nah, I could do that. But believing it to a point where you actually put in the 3 months of work and actually go do it, two different things.
Bro, you can lie yourself into like achieving shit.
I also don't think so. I also think there's no such thing as faking it until you make it. Like you can't lie to yourself until it becomes true. It won't happen.
You can't fake it till you make it, bro. That's just a genuine thing.
Nah, I don't think so. I think what you can do though is that you can put in the work to make it, right? Mm-hmm. And you can manifest it, but faking it, like actually being there already.
Bro, it becomes true like as time passes.
But are you faking it then?
maybe in the beginning you were, but like it's going to become true as you like carry on.
This is
Depends
what I-
on like it's
so-
very different variations
yeah.
of it.
So-
But there's variations where you are doing it, and then as you're doing it, it becomes more true. Then all of a sudden, it's actually like true. It's like a thing.
But then that just means
That's
putting,
like a real thing.
Yeah, but I think that's just putting in the work. I think
Yeah, that's putting in
just
the work.
putting
Yeah.
in the work. Difference. But I'm saying fake it till you make it is like reaping the benefits and rewards of what you want before you get there. So how somebody would go buy a really expensive car and a really nice house before they're even in a position to do that because they're faking it till they make it. You're buying really expensive suits to go to like to mingle with these really high up people, but at home it's not really that delicious. But you're faking it until you make it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But you know for a fact that that works.
No, no. Like, it's not practical.
It's not practical, yes. No, 100% it's not
It's just
practical.
practical,
But,
dude.
like, you know, you've told me about situations where folks are doing the same thing and it works for them.
No. I've seen just situations where people are like putting in the work and it seems like they're faking it till they make it. But some people, I just genuinely think.
Yeah, people put in the
it's-
work and they
it's-
live beyond their means, and then all of a sudden, like, not all of a sudden, but through that work, they actually achieve like that benchmark of like the life they want to live because they were actively working towards it and they had so much pressure to keep on
Okay.
working towards it that it actually happened.
But no, true.
Those oaks
But-
faked until they make it.
But the same guys, literally, the first thing they say is, guys, don't do this.
Yeah, that's not practical.
Don't do
It's
this.
a terrible like,
It's a
way
very
to go about doing things.
Exactly.
But did it get them there?
No, of course. I feel like if I blindfolded you,
That is terrible.
yeah, if I blindfolded you, turned you around 3 times, and I told you to throw this dart, if you hit the bullseye, great.
Yeah.
But would I advise you to hit? That's how you should hit a bullseye every single time? No,
Probably not.
Yeah, you'll probably
You
blind
should
someone
probably,
eventually.
recalibrate, take a breath, and then go for it. You know what I
Go
mean?
for it.
But yeah,
So I think that's just my perspective on it. Like, I just think everyone has this mentality of like fake it till you make it, and also
not practical.
not practical.
Don't go about it like
Yeah.
that.
For me, I'm just very humble in what I do. I understand my situation, so I'll always be able to move forward. Like, I'll tell myself, this is what you want, okay? But I don't dwell on what I want. I just dwell on what do I have to do to get to the next point, to get to the next thing, to get to the next thing, to get what I want.
Okay, yeah. So,
So
it's
not-
broken down into steps.
Yeah, so knock down your daily goals or knock down things that you have to do on a daily to a point where now you've compounded 5 days of good work. Then you've compounded 10 days of good work, a month worth of good work. And after you realize how much a month of good work gives you,
Yeah.
then you keep going. Then you compounded 3 months of good work. Now after you have 3 months of good work, dude, that's a quarter. You have a great quarter. If you have 4 great quarters, that's a great year.
No, that's true. That's true.
You see? And you put 60 great years in a row, that's a
Yeah.
great life. So that's what I'll say, dude. It's like everybody really wants to dwell on goals, visions, what do I have to do, which is good. You know, you always have to look forward to what you want. But I genuinely think focus on what you have to do on a day-to-day basis. Eventually it's going to work itself out. Because we don't know what's at the end of the road. In life, you're not mapping your road. There's no map for it.
It's not predetermined.
So what you're building the road as it goes. And you might find obstacles that you have to build around, that you have to go through, have to go over, whatever the case may be, but you're building it as you go. So even where you want to go with that road might even change eventually. Maybe the goals that you set out for yourself in your 20s are not the same goals that you want when you're 40.
Yeah, but the problem is like people are like very like dreamy when it comes to like their goals, because like a goal not written down is like basically a dream, and like if you don't have a plan for it, then like you dust. You know what I mean? You're not going to see that dream fulfilled, that goal fulfilled. So it's just people just romanticize like their goals, but like actually working towards them, that's where people like kind of stumble. It's easy, very easy like to chat about doing things, but the execution is like what matters.
True. Yeah, execution is deep, eh?
Execution is deep, bro. Like probably this is like a scary experience for like a lot of people, like being in front of a camera, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But I promise, just run into the fray, and if you take a battering, then that's the market.
But I just feel like you can't, there's no way you can get better without doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
You can't get better without doing it. Like, I think about certain things sometimes and I'm like, is it worth doing if I'm really, really bad at it? Like, if I'm really bad at it right now, is it worth doing? But then, dude, you continue to do it, like, whatever you can do, like, even now. So this is, I look, like, when the first time, I was like, nah, I'm going to start trading, okay? I decided that I was like, I'm going to start trading. This was back in 2016, first year. Yeah. Back when, Triple M and all these things were, like, making money, and everyone was like, nah, everyone has to be a Forex trader. I was like, all right, I'm going to try this, okay? Dude, first trade, cracked it. I was like, what? I remember I put like $600 in. It was like a Friday. Then I made like $2,000. I was like, what? Yeah. Withdrew it, blew that $2,000. It was nice times. I was having the greatest time of my life.
It was a uni thing. It was very easy.
Great time. Money. 100%. You think, dude, this is easy.
And also the economy was better.
This was Zuma's economy.
Yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, don't do it now.
Don't just blow money.
Don't blow money now. You have to save that. Petrol is crazy. So then, one of the guys I was going to varsity with, he says to me, he's like, oh, okay, cool. Dude, we're all funding an account. It was like 3 gens. So we're all funding an account because, more money, larger spread, leverage, all these things. I was like, okay, cool. So then they funded this account and I put in my money. So it came out, I think it was like 4 of us, and it came up to about like 16 grand. 16, 17 grand. Mind you, we're all new to this. Like, we're all very new to this, but we're believing other people's hype right now. Like, we're getting gassed up by other people's hype, and we're like, nah, if they can do it, we can do it, right?
Like a bubble.
Yeah, it's like a bubble. Yeah. If I tell you, within that first, I think we started it on a Tuesday. But like after our last, I think it was like a 1:00 lecture, we were in. Then we went to like the common area around 2:30. Then we started trading from 2:30. By the time I got home, we had lost everything.
That same day.
Like,
what lot sizes were you?
Dude, I don't know. Dude, it was. Dude, let me tell you, bro. Like, do you understand? When it was so bad that it had even gone to negative. That's how bad we lost. Like, the spread, our account was in negative, and then they had to like recorrect it. We're like 20 rand. We owed them 20 rand because they didn't close the trading time. That's how fast it dropped.
Jeez,
dude, you got wiped out. Like, that's the first time I've actually like felt like an actual hit. Then I was like, okay, cool. Then you hear about these things, everyone's like, no, these things happen. So you're like, okay, cool, it's whatever.
Yeah, you always play your first account.
Yeah, it's fine. But we're gonna come back stronger. Because you see them, they'll say, one loss won't make me, let's come back stronger. Come back, I'll put like another, but mind you, I'm a student first year, dude. I'm literally like scrounging cash together. Yeah. This is food money.
Yeah, I understand.
Living expense money, dude. So I'm putting this money back in. I think I blew, I'm not even joking, like another 4 or 5 grand that same week.
Just trying to like
work this out. So now, tell me, someone who goes...
What happened to demo accounts back then? Like,
dude, because you know what people tell you, you'll never learn on a demo. You have no skin in the game, you'll never learn. Bro, don't listen to those people. Dude, take your time. Risk-free. They say it's risk-free, so you don't know how it feels. So, hey, don't listen to those people. Take your time.
Practice.
Then you're gonna learn a very expensive lesson. So yeah, dude, and now tell me something. Someone who goes through that at the age of 19, right? Yeah. And maybe it's easier because you're not necessarily like running through your own bag. Yeah. But how do you now go through that for the first time? Like, you have never seen so much money, and then you've never lost that much money like in the same time. Yeah. Now, how do you show resilience and then come back and do that thing consistently?
That same
thing consistently to a point now where it's profitable for you.
The thing is, you've taken a beating at this stage. I would go and build back like the self-confidence and all of that, just like the sense of being, because it definitely deteriorates a lot more than just your view of yourself as a forex trader. It deteriorates a lot of things, bro. Your mood, like, it's chowing you, like it's eating you, like, oh my gosh, I lost so much money. So go win at other avenues of your life that you win at, take a break. And then maybe consider a demo. Consider a demo.
No, most definitely.
Then, because obviously after taking that beating, you're gonna approach with more caution the second time around.
Yeah.
You guys must have been playing with mad lot sizes.
No, dude, you know what it was? There was this thing called, they called it barcoding. So you just like,
Right.
when you say, nah, this is a trade, gents, and then you just tap, buy.
So it's more than one trade.
It's like, it's the same trade, but you have like 6 or 7 positions opened.
Oh no! Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and
yes,
then
yes,
also, you know that thing of like, nah, dude, we don't have to trade with stop losses. We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
So limal.
I've been a victim of that. Please make use of stop losses, right?
So yeah.
And keep your lot sizes down if you ain't know it like that.
Nah, that thing is so deep, dude. And I realized I was like, that was the first time I was taught like a hard lesson that there is no the whole it's the I don't know how to explain it. It's the hot hand fallacy. Basically, they call it the hot hand fallacy in basketball. Just because a person keeps making shots, you think they're gonna keep making shots. So you double down on the fact that they're making shots.
Yeah.
Right? And you leverage
And you
the
take
fact
it as a given.
And you take it as a given. So when the day that they miss that shot, you lose everything.
It's a shock
It's a shock.
because you put so much in.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I get
It's
it.
the hot hand fallacy, and it happens a lot of times. So I think if you don't put too much in, if you don't put too much credit, like not credit, but if you don't put too much emotion into any one thing that you're doing, I think you'll be fine. If you treat the same thing, if you treat your W's like your L's, with the same mindset that it's just something that happens now and I'll move on. So if you're not really touched by your L's, you'll never get gassed up by your W's, and your L's won't feel worse.
Yeah, no, okay, I agree with that.
So if you don't believe the hype of your W's and you're like, yo, I won, this is great. If you don't believe that hype, it'll be easier for you not to be let down when you lose.
You can't internalize too much.
Exactly. You just like, it's easy for you to just be like, this is the game, I'm moving on from here.
The whole of life is a game.
Yeah.
I'll say that. That's
Just
how I
have to
live life.
that's what they always say.
It's a fun game, bro.
Charge it to the game, dude.
Yeah.
It's so easy to like just charge it to the game.
But be grateful for like the opportunity to be at bat, bro.
Yeah, because it's tough now.
Just being able to enter the crucible that is life is like such a great opportunity, bro.
They actually say you have more of a chance of being born than winning the lottery. Like it's a less of a chance of being born than like winning the lottery.
Yeah, it's like infinitesimal.
Yeah.
Chances of
It's
being
crazy.
born as you are.
As you are.
Yeah.
Like the person you are being here, the chances of you being here is crazy. Like
Yeah.
you have a better chance of winning the lottery.
And that's saying something.
That is saying a lot.
That's saying
So yeah, I just feel like in this life, dude, you just have to put your head down and work hard, bro. Okay, not work hard. Work smart. Working hard is for
I
for the
believe
lames.
there's like 3 things that are important, right? I think working hard is not the most important aspect of like succeeding. I'm not talking about like in sports or anything. I'm talking about like in business, in work, and like that type of thing. In business, let me say in business, like entrepreneurship. I think what you work on is like first, who you work with is like second, and then working hard is like number 3. But it's like all the tools, so they're all like needed.
Yeah.
But definitely those other 2 are like more important. Because you could work at something, but it's not like as profitable. And you could work at something and the people that you work with are not like great at it or whatever. Hard work is like not the top one.
So you think that the way you do something and who you do it with is more important than how hard
what you do.
So what you do and who you do it with is more important than how hard you do it.
Yeah.
Like how much effort you put into it.
Yes.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
100%.
No, 100%.
You can work at something and it's
beans. It's terrible.
and
It's
yeah,
beans.
you could like waste away at that. So
Nah, I feel that because a lot of people always tell us like, nah. Because we also were lied to. We were lied to. All we were told was, as really like very early Gen Z. I mean, we were both born in 97. So we were coming out of this. We were raised by our grandmothers and we were also raised by our mothers and fathers. These guys are boomers and Gen Xers. So all they knew was hard work because literally hard work directly paid off to living a decent life for them. It made sense. It really did. You work hard, you'll get paid for what you work in, and that's vice versa, right? Fast forward to technology where now You're living in a place where you could go to university for 4 years, right? Then afterwards, go do your articles, go do another 2 years of studying just to become accredited as whatever you want to be. So put 6 years in the gulag.
It's not done after the 4 years.
Okay, it's not done after the 4 years. But you put 6 years into the gulag.
done.
Max, let's say you put maybe to get your master's, you put about 8 years into those pieces of paper to further yourself, right? To earn a decent wage, a decent salary, one that it's more than a majority of people earn. Okay? You put all that work in to be hired by a company, and all that company does that company is outsourced by a dude who picked up a camera when he was 18 and just made videos for 4 years, and now he's booming. All that you did was you're working for that man.
Yeah.
All your accomplishments and all. So we've moved away now from that whole we have to work hard and then we'll get to where we want to be.
Yeah.
It really isn't like that anymore. You can't do that. There's people making millions eating food online, and you're gonna tell me I have to work hard.
Yeah.
Nah,
Can I tell you, bro, like where we are or where we're headed? Creativity is more important than like a lot of things.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say anything that does not require creativity, you can outsource.
True.
You can outsource your accounting. You can outsource literally anything. You can outsource anything. But like uniqueness and like creativity, you can't outsource that.
True.
And that's what's like making racks now, right? And I want to go again to that point I was telling you earlier. What was I saying? Equity.
Yeah.
Equity is like a greater way to like get rich, like a better path than investing time into a job is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because you just said like a company, right? A company's making that money.
Yeah.
But you clocking in hours at that company isn't gonna make you rich.
100%.
But investing in that company could make you rich. That's equity.
Okay, definitely.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So working hard, like putting hours into a job, is that gonna make you wealthy? Nah. Is it gonna make you rich? Sure. But if you invest well enough, then I guess, you know.
Yeah, but I also think like we also have to understand that, because also with the same breath, no knock to people who actually put in that work, become lawyers, accountants, all that thing. Because look, I studied, I got my piece of paper. We all did it. All of us, but a majority of us did it.
Education is important.
It's important, it really is, because it opens your mind up, great networking tool, and it gets you into the door of a lot of places. Because when they ask you, like, if you're doing something, do you have the authority to speak on it? You can say, yes, I studied it. But with the same breath, I also think of it like this. I'm like, we put too much into, okay, not us anymore, because I realized now kids will quit a job. Like people our age, we'll quit that job.
Quick, fast.
Like we will, we do not care. We don't even know where the next one's coming from, but we will leave that job. If it is, because maybe the millennials used to, Begizela a job, they used to stay with it. You don't know where the next bag is coming from, so if they're treating you like shit, you're gonna say, nah. Anybody born after 96 will quit that job so fast. They don't even give it to you. They're out. So, and it's good. It's good because now the workplace realizes you can't really exploit people anymore. Like you have to have an environment that's conducive for growth. Like personally, for what I want to do, I don't think I could ever work in a company. Obviously, in the long term, if I'm working in a company and I'm planning to be there for 10, 15 years, I don't think I could work in that company, come to what you were saying earlier on, that won't offer me some sort of stock option. Like if I'm sitting there working 10 years, 15 years for you, and you're not even going to offer me just like a little slice of the cake.
No
just
equity.
Just a little bit.
No equity.
Like zero equity.
That's mad.
I could never.
You're basically getting that allowance to just come on. Keep coming back.
Do you know I've been here for 15 years? This is basically, like if the company's been there for, let's say the company's been there for like 50 years and I've worked for 15 out of those 50.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna, you understand I've been here.
No ways.
Like 30% of this company's duration. I should have at least get half of that. or something. You know, obviously we're not looking for crazy amounts, but you know, young 5%.
Those are employee
something.
incentives, bro. That's how
Exactly.
you get a workforce to like go to bat for you.
Yeah, 100%. And people, and because if you,
And also because they have skin in that company.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna work at this company and I have money in this company,
Oh, yeah.
this company better keep good. I better work.
yeah,
I better work.
because
You know
you're
what I mean?
thinking, yeah, I'm gonna get something on the back end. You know, if I really do well for it, and that's what I think. They say that I think they're calling it the Great Resign. That's what they've been calling it, like the Great Resign, where literally people are just leaving their companies, and it's for one thing and one thing only. If you're not invested in a place emotionally, then you see no benefit in it. Because that's what I even see now. They always say, like, if you stay at a so between the ages of 18 and 35, if you stay at a job for longer than 2 years, you're losing out on your social equity, your social equity, basically, like as a person. So let's say I'm earning,
Because it stagnates.
yeah, so you're stagnating, right? So let's say I'm earning 10,000 rands at the age of 18, right? Doing just just basic clerk work.
Bookkeeping or whatever.
Bookkeeping, whatever, right? After 2 years, I've got 2 years experience as a bookkeeper. They're not going to raise me up to 12,000 rand. They're just going to keep me at 10,000 rand. But if I go to another place where I've got now 2 years of bookkeeping experience, I can bargain for 12,000. Right? Or even 14,000. You can bargain now for 14,000 because you have, and then now once you have 4 years of working, let's say maybe you finish your studies, or if you haven't finished your studies, if you stay at that place, they're just going to look at you the same. They might give you maybe your 5% increase, but going to another place, you can literally go ask for another maybe 2,000, 4,000.
Yeah.
So if you move 3 jobs in maybe 8 years, you could end up earning 6,000-7,000 rand more than what you would be if you were just getting that young 10% increase over those 10 years. Because you're just getting that little bit.
And it adds up to a lot more.
It adds up to a lot more. So never get too invested, especially when you're young, get too invested into one place. Don't think this is, just because they're paying me now, I'm going to sit here forever.
I'm gonna draw you an X and a Y axis, bro. But like in your head, just picture it, right? X and Y axis.
So hold on. See, just check if it's still recording. I'm not sure. You'll see if it's recording.
We should see you on the light, bro.
Yes, it is good.
Oh, yeah,
It's
perfect.
good dog, right?
No, that one, bro.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
These are very nice.
Look like it.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh yeah. Proper. Easy.
Okay, yeah. So X and Y axis, right? This is it's gonna speak to like on entrepreneurship and like the benefits. So in a job, right? Let's say on this axis I'll put like time, and then I'll put like pay or like money wise or whatever, right? If you're in like a job, bro, and this is over years, right? The growth is very stagnant. Because like, let's say over 2 years, like you earn a certain salary and then you get like a raise or whatever. And then, you know?
Yeah.
But then as soon as time carries on, it plateaus again.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Ah, but it's fine. It's already now. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
It's fine. What you were saying, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Goes and then stagnates again. And like time is going as you do this, bro. Okay, cool. Now we go to like starting a business or like providing a service as, you know, a business owner. Same axis and things, right? As your customer base grows, like it's exponential as opposed to like stagnating.
Yeah.
Like it's like a scatter plot. So everything is like exponential, bro.
Yeah.
That's why it's so like it's so much better to like go into like a business or something like that, or like have equity or something like that.
No, true.
Than it is to be in a job because of the lagging
yeah.
across time.
No, 100%. Because I always say it's in working for yourself. Anything you do, even like making money yourself, it's everybody can always say there was that one year or that one period in my life that changed everything.
Exponential.
Yeah. It's that one point where you went from just coasting along that x-axis, as you're saying, to just being so high up
Yeah.
That little boom phase was the
Yeah.
craziest part of your life, and you're like, I don't know what happened, but in the space of 6 months, my whole life changed. And I believe in that. I believe in the fact that your entire life can change in 6 months.
Easily.
Like you could be doing something, and in the same
catches
year,
on, yeah.
in the same year, you could be in a completely different space than you were before.
Yeah.
Like 110%. And a lot of people don't believe that. They really think that year after year you have to be on your knees begging for what you didn't work, then eventually you'll stand up, and then eventually you'll climb the ladder, and then eventually you'll be at the top.
Yeah.
I just feel like you could be at the top in 6 months. You really could.
Factually.
Like factually, depending on what you're doing. Like obviously if you're in corporate, it's very difficult to say that. Like you can't.
Are you gonna get a raise in 6 months?
No. You're still on probation.
Yeah, it's like an annum thing, that one, bro.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you work on a year scale. But if you're really working for yourself, you're putting in that grind and you're doing whatever you're doing, dude, genuinely in the next 6 months, you could see yourself in a space where you never thought you would be at the beginning of that year.
Yeah.
And
especially now with like tech the way it is, bro.
yeah,
And
like
social media.
we're living in a space where it's the easiest to become a millionaire.
it's never been easier.
It has not been easier than this to become a millionaire. Like I could literally go to okay, maybe not in South Africa, but globally, you know, to become a millionaire, it's easy. Yeah, here it's still tough. Don't let people like
Not in Saudi, man.
yeah, not in Saudi. Yes, you become a millionaire, they just raise the prices of petrol. It's terrible.
Now that the cost of doing business is high.
Yeah, which is sad, but there's nothing.
I don't wanna. No, let's leave the government. Let's not get into that one.
That's a chat.
We could shred the government for
No,
like,
but
the rest of
also
the session.
shout out to the government. Love you guys. Dude, I'm applying for government funding, so I can't shun the government just yet. They must still run that bag. So yeah, love you guys. You guys aren't doing the best job, but we're still gonna support you moving forward. Government, not ANC, government in general. Whichever government is there. Whenever you're watching this, if you're watching this in 10 years, the government that's there will be supporting you.
I'm not going to get political, but pull up your socks. That's what I'm
Yeah, just fix your shit.
Yeah,
that's all you have to say. Just fix your stuff. But it's weird, dude. I don't know. We're living in a weird time right now. We have everything. It's you know what I feel like we're living in a time where you could sit down. You remember like when things are scarce, everything feels like it's easy. Okay, in a sense. Remember when you used to be able to sit down at 4:30 and you knew what was on. You're like, dude, Dragon Ball Z. You know,
Yeah.
SBC2, Dragon Ball Z. That's what you're gonna watch.
Structured life, yeah.
At 8:00, it's Generations. You know you're gonna watch Generations. There's nothing else you're gonna watch.
Your life is structured.
Your life is very structured. Now we're living in a time where you could literally be scrolling through, like on your TV, for like an hour, just trying to figure out something to watch because there's so many options. You don't know what the hell you want. It's literally that's the type of like life we're living right now. There's so many
choice becoming so broad.
Like there's so many career paths. There's so many different ways to build yourself and like maybe introspect. You can get into so many things online. You can get into so many things just in general. Corporate now has more divisions than it's ever had. Like every single company that's worth their pound and salt has a social media division now. They have within their marketing division.
Yeah, they don't have a choice.
They have no choice. You have to have that. You know, even within their HR division, they have people now that are they're like online specialists. You know, they have to have an IT division. They have to have like a brand development and brand awareness division, a PR communication. You know, all these divisions are coming up. We're back in the day.
You have to relate to your customer.
You have to relate to your customer base.
Something and hope people consume it.
We're back in the day. All you had to do was put an advert in a newspaper, and you would know you would make bank.
Sales were coming in, yeah.
You see? So we're living in that space now where there's so many different avenues to be able to go into and think to yourself, what do I really want to do? And I honestly say to anybody, to pick one, you're just doing yourself a disservice.
You can't do one thing.
Yeah. Because you
can't do one thing.
Because have you ever heard that saying where people say that jack of all trades is the king of none?
Yeah.
You know they don't finish it.
Yeah.
It's actually supposed to be saying the jack of all trades is the king of none, but it's still better than a king of one. So
factual.
you have to be a Swiss Army knife in this life.
Yeah, no, 100%. One thing I do want to chat about, bro, because we were speaking about like social media and things. Cheap dopamine.
Yeah.
I think that's like the biggest problem that's going to face society in like the years coming up. Well, it already is actually.
Yeah.
Cheap dopamine, I mean, like with social media, like that type of metric, people start measuring like themselves and their worth by the metric of like social media likes and like things like that. That is cheap dopamine. Like every like you get, you feel like, ooh, yes. You know what I mean? There are greater challenges you could be doing, you know what I mean? Like dopamine should not be brought down to like
the click of a button.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coming from someone else as well. Why are you validating yourself based off of like someone else?
But I just think that's
a crazy thing that's like chowing people now.
But that comes down to where do you get your validation from? Like what makes you
and it
happy?
cannot be social media for sure.
Personally, that's why I always say it to myself. Like this is what I was saying early on. I think being able to just do something because you want to do it, right? And you said as well for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes should be its own reward. Not to say that there is no reward, but sometimes that should be its own reward, right?
Yeah.
So I think I've never been the person, you know me, never been the person who's been gassed up by social media.
Yeah.
I barely post. I always tell you guys, don't post me, you know.
Yeah.
I'm hiding from people.
Yeah.
I'm dodging certain people, don't post me. So I've always been that person, you know. And there's some people who really enjoy it, you know. That's what they do. To each their own. But to actually, I understand though. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here though.
Yeah.
Let me do this. Now imagine you're coming up and you're like a growing teen. Okay. And you, maybe one of your friends has like garners a really big following on social media, right? And they start monetizing it, like making bank from it. And now it's their livelihood, like 5, 6, 7 years down the line. I think innately you'd want to replicate that.
Okay.
Even subconsciously you'd want to replicate that.
Okay.
So now when you get, maybe your pictures are only getting 50 likes and you post that one banger and it gets 150.
Yeah.
Subconsciously you're gonna be like, oh, I'm on the come up now.
Yeah.
Like I need to start doing whatever I'm doing this, I need to start doing more of it. So
and
then you're gonna start monetizing
it,
and maybe because you've seen the life that those people are living. Now this is someone close to you, but if you think about it on social media, everyone's close because you have access to everybody's lives all at once. So if you're posting a selfie and it's only getting like, or you're just posting a photo of yourself and it's getting 8 likes, and you see someone else post a photo of themselves getting 100,000, and that person's like not notable, they're not famous, they're not like great singers, great actors, great sports, nothing. They're just on the gram.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd love to I think it's just innate, like it's an innate response for us to be like, oh, we're gonna get that dopamine from things like that because now you're just doing in that aspect. You're just doing better. You understand what I'm saying? But it's by no means.
So that person getting 100,000 likes is getting like feeling better.
But you don't know. You assuming that though. You're assuming that they're just doing better because they're getting more of that metric.
The assumption,
The assumption of that person is doing better or feeling better or living better. That might not be the case.
So that's why like some people find like celebrities like as misunderstood.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how could you be sad, you know?
It's that thing.
You got all these people that like, you know, admire you, whatever, yeah.
So I understand why.
So that's another point to say. The metrics are not somewhere you should be validating yourself from.
No, 100%. But also, you see, that's why I was saying I was going to play devil's advocate because in no way should you validate yourself from that metric. But with the same breath, if that metric is your livelihood, what do you validate yourself by? Like if that's your bread and butter, is that metric. At some point, it's part of what you. It's part of.
If it's your job, then the numbers don't lie, bro. If it's your job, then quite clearly, for you to make more money, your metrics have to be up. That makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm saying
if it's your job.
If it's your job, that's what I'm saying. If it's your job, but then how does it become your job? Because you've always validated yourself by that metric. That's how it becomes now your job. So you see now it's a very thin line of saying like if this is what you really want to do, because I honestly feel like the most
No, but then it validates like your craft, bro.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be validating your existence.
but isn't
Because the problem is that it's affecting people's like view of themselves. Because that's like a metric to measure like your relatability, your agreeableness to like your market, who's like your consumers are consuming your content. Like that's your product, right?
yeah.
They consuming that, but it's not affecting how you view yourself. That's like the negative aspect. That's the cheap dopamine I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's how you get depressed by social media.
No, facts. I hear you, dude. I hear you. I just feel like sometimes if I look at it, I'm like, because I feel like our biggest influencers in this world never wanted to become influencers. They were just doing something for the sake of doing it. And everybody really gravitated towards them. But now you get people who have sort of figured out the formula to becoming an influencer.
Yeah, can I tell you something? It's the same thing as like personal trainers. Personal trainers are personal trainers because of the way they look.
Yeah.
It's not, and then like if you go into it for like, you go like into like healthy living and all of that for the sake of like looking like that person, you will not like likely achieve that.
True.
Because like genetics and like all of that. So you cannot go about it that same direction. And you cannot seek to become like that person's, have their physique and like stuff like that. You can work at it and like maybe it'll work out or whatever. But I'm saying those people do those things because of the way they look.
True.
And because of like who they are, and because of their makeup and like the genetic makeup and shit.
No, true. But I understand, no, because I agree with you. I genuinely agree with you. But all I'm saying is that on the other side, sometimes I look at it and I understand why people equate their value as a person to that metric, because it is solely based on you as a person. Like, as in any other profession, right? In any other profession, you can base your metric of success on different things.
Yeah.
You know, as a doctor, you base your metric of success on how many people you keep alive. Okay. You know, as an athlete, you base your metric of success on
Per wins.
You know. As a investment manager or whatever the case may be, you may base your metric on success of how much money you make.
That's money.
Okay, so it's the rack.
Yeah.
But your metric of success in that space on social media is solely based on other people's belief or what they think of you. That's the metric of success. So you're literally getting instant feedback about
agreeableness.
Yeah, but I'm saying yes, it could be agreeableness, but I feel like when you're just scrolling past somebody and you decide to stop with their phone, at some point, I think it's who you are rather than, because I mean, even agreeableness goes into the person that you are. Do I agree or disagree with you? Right? Do I like or dislike you? But you understand, this all goes into my perception of you. So now you're literally basing that, you're getting an instant feedback on, so that like button is literally my instant feedback on what I think of you.
No, but it's also another thing to consider is that like with social media, it's what people are actively trying to consume. So some people like go on the gram to look at like cars. Some people go on the gram to look at like women, to look at like men, to look at, you know?
Yeah.
Or like cats. People love cats for some reason.
That is, yeah. I'm not a fan. But
People are, it's also about like what people are consuming. It's not always like you as a human being.
yeah.
And it's not always going to be about like you as a human being. It's just, it's just other factors.
No, I understand that. But I'm talking specifically about that, the whole thing of you shouldn't equate your value to the metric of social media.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying it's very difficult to realize that when the metric of success is basically your ability to be likable.
But that's when it's actually
Specifically, specifically for people that make a
That are
living on social media.
In it, yeah.
And why I was saying it's very difficult not to think that way is because most people only find themselves making a living.
It's easy to tie it together.
Yeah, it's easy to tie it together because you don't go out and actually want to become an influencer, but you just find yourself being very influential to a lot of people.
Agreeable to a lot of people.
Agreeable to a lot of people. Now,
Easily adoptable.
yeah, easy adoptable. So now you find yourself actually now. This is your livelihood. This is the career path that found you, not it found that you found it. Yeah. And now you have to sort of tie your value as a person, not to say monetary value, but like in general, how successful you are by what other people think of you.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Which is the most toxic work environment I could ever think of. Like, if we had to think work environment, that is the worst work environment I could ever think of. Like, I could never think to myself after time, like, how great I'm doing based on
consistently being likable.
Yeah, consistently be other people telling you you're doing great.
Yeah,
like you're doing great today, Thato.
No,
this is an amazing vlog. You have a great life.
No, yeah, that's how, bro.
Dude, that is.
I wouldn't want to subject myself to anything like that.
Very scary. But again, it's sometimes it's what other people have chosen. So
on that thing I said about like easily adoptable. That's the same thing. I think I tweeted about it. I said people should like go less into trying to make products that are like market disruptive and just make products that are easily adoptable.
Oh, okay.
Everybody wants to be a market disruptor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do niggas even know what that means? Like some people don't even know what that means. But if you can create something or provide a service that is easily adoptable by the consumer, you are like, that's like gonna win.
Not true.
You're like more likely to win.
Yeah.
And get there.
But everyone says they want to become a market disruptor.
Market disruptor.
Is that the new way to say entrepreneur?
Dog, I'm gonna just find someone that like says that. I just want to say, what does
that mean?
What does that mean?
Nah, dude. I also feel like everyone uses the word entrepreneur as a fallback for not doing the things. I'm an entrepreneur. What do you do? Like, what is an entrepreneur? Like, okay.
No, it's very easy to be unemployed and act like an entrepreneur.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like, it's very, like, dude, you're not working.
It's a glamorous job. It's a glamorous way to be unemployed. Yeah. I'm an entrepreneur.
I'm an entrepreneur. But when do you call a spade a spade? Like, what do you think? What is an entrepreneur for you?
You need income, product, service, sales.
But I don't think so, because I think, let's say you have a product, right? Mm-hmm. Shoes, right? If you're selling shoes, okay, people are buying your shoes, okay? So you have product, sales, and income, okay? Do you consider yourself an entrepreneur? I don't.
No, that's being
self-employed.
Self-employed.
You're self-employed.
Yeah, that's being self-employed.
So you're not an entrepreneur, because if you're not there, that business won't function.
Yeah, no, if you take a day off, that day is a 0 day.
Yeah, it's a 0 off day. You're not making indie. So that day you're not an entrepreneur.
No, you're self-employed.
You're self-employed. But if you can now turn that into a place where if you took a step back and runs itself, now you're an entrepreneur.
Because you're running a business.
Running a business. If you can build if your business can be valued and marketable to other people and to be able to be transferred without anything stopping, at that point you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's very difficult to become one. Like, not everybody can become an entrepreneur.
No. Very difficult journey.
Everybody should strive to be self-employed, but I feel like not everybody can become an entrepreneur.
No, that's a more difficult journey. I will say this for anyone that does want to become like an entrepreneur or self-employed. If you're selling a product at this stage in life, like just going forward, it has to have a service aspect. You can't provide a product without like a service aspect anymore. Oh yeah. Like your customer service has to be great now.
Oh yeah.
People are emotionally like invested in a product as soon as they consume it, bro.
100%. And also, who are you to like just say something like, oh, dude,
yeah, and then you say,
hey, dude, I don't need you.
You ain't gonna get it. That's not a returning customer.
Yes, I'm definitely not coming.
You're not getting like a referral from the customer.
Oh yeah. Especially because if I can do it online, what do I need you for? I'm coming for vibes. I feel like I'm coming here for a vibe.
There needs to be more.
Just needs to be more.
Give people more. If you're selling a product, give them more. Some way, somehow, bro.
Yeah,
has to be done.
Well, shout out to all the Instagram entrepreneurs. We respect y'all. Keep pushing your thing in your bio. It says entrepreneur and great. We appreciate it.
Stop the sneaker resellers. That shit needs to be cut out. I'm angry.
A Jordan 4 for 1,005.
No, but even this raffle business, bro. Why am I entering competitions for an opportunity to buy? Please let me spend my money. What the hell? On this shoe.
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
Come on.
It's very crazy. I've seen it, dude.
My
And the worst thing, I don't understand how this works out. You don't get into the raffle, then this other guy buys like 400 of them.
You understand?
This guy got 400 pairs of sneakers.
Now he's a reseller.
Now he's a reseller.
I have to deal with this.
Yo, and the reseller prices are crazy.
And now he's giving me like lockdown things, take it or leave it. Come on, dude.
I'm good.
I know what the shoe retails for.
Exactly.
I can go to Nike.com now and show you.
But dude, also, I'll never, as I was saying earlier on, don't knock another man's hustle, bro.
I'm raising his in there.
You have to draw your line, my boy. No, true. At some point, we have to draw your line, but I feel like, we all got to hustle, dude. That guy makes money. He's feeding a family. It is what it is. If it's for the clouds or flame, whatever he's doing it for.
I'm pretty sure he's also, I hate had to be you, man.
Okay, but also, like, we always say this, like, Paul said this. If you were him, though, wouldn't you do the same thing?
I'm just saying, bro, there's an avenue to stop it. Like, it ain't gotta be like that.
The only people who have to stop it are the people that are benefiting from it. Because if you think about it, there's a reason why they put like a limited amount of sales on really nice sneakers.
Yeah,
so
no, but Nike is actually working to
stop it.
Cut it out.
Yeah, which is respectable because
it is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is very ridiculous. Yeah. But it also adds to the hype of Nike.
Yeah. But like, I'm just like mad at the markup on the markup.
No, it is crazy. Oh, it's crazy. I saw a pair of shoes the other day. What was it? It was like a Jordan 4. It was like a yellow. I think they call them the Lightnings. And they were like, I think there was $750 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And they retailed for like $150.
That's like 400%.
Dude, imagine. Retail is like $150, and then now buy them for $750 just because they want to be a sneaker. You can't wear that shoe. I'm sorry. You can't wear that. Do you understand how depressing it is spending $750 on something someone just scuffs?
Do you see now you can't even enjoy things, bro?
Dude,
that could have been a bad too that you actually enjoy. You step out in it, it's groovy.
It's vibes.
But now it's like yeah. You're in the club, it's like you're wearing all white shoes.
You don't even wear them to the club. You wear them to the mall.
When it's raining, you put plastics on it.
I've seen that. I would never be a plastic over the shoe. I'm sorry, I could never be a plastic over the shoe person. But yeah, what are you gonna do, dude? It's just this hype mentality we have now. Everything's hype.
Yeah, no. Subs, bro. No,
I know.
We'll call it here.
Yeah.
Shout out.
That's been nice.
I hate to do this. Like and subscribe. That's like the one part that you don't want to be doing.
But you have to.
You have to do it.
No, wait.
Alright, let's go, Grace.